helping keep modern Manx history alive.
So what brings you to the Isle of Man?
I'm the Member of Parliament for the City of London and Westminster, which I've been for the past 10 years. So I've been aware in the past of the Isle of Man's strength in the financial services field, but having led a debate in Parliament last July on the importance of international financial centres, it also made me very much aware of the bigger diversity of the economy here in the Isle of Man. So I was invited by the First Minister to speak at his annual international debate. And I wanted to make the case, not just for the importance of having international financial centres such as the Isle of Man, which are at the vanguard of trying to ensure that we have a good regulatory system going forward, but also for the diversity of the economy that the Isle of Man now offers. And I think it's tremendously to the island's credit that you look at the way in which the aviation and shipping industry have grown up like Topsy in the last decade or so, and now even in esoteric areas such as e-gaming and the space industry, as well as attracting huge amounts of money from places such as China and India. And I think the relationship, therefore, between the island and the United Kingdom should hopefully go from strength to strength.
I was going to ask you, what's the feeling down in Westminster? How do they view the offshores and this place they probably don't even know where it is almost, some of them, at the Isle of Man?
I hope they know where the Isle of Man is. I often recall almost 30 years ago when the Falkland Wars started and everyone had to get out their atlas to work out where that was. I don't think that hopefully there's quite the same case for the Isle of Man. Listen, the fact I think is that most MPs probably are blissfully ignorant about how international financial centres work, and they probably buy into elements of the public relations push that talks about tax havens, and they all seem to be offshore places in sunny Caribbean climes. And I think perhaps far too little is said about the efficiency of tax neutrality, of liquidity funds that come through with the Isle of Man, and indeed the benefit that our relationship with the Isle of Man gave to the City of London, even during the most recent credit crunch. And I think it's important because I think there is a sense of something untoward going on in certain tax havens, and insofar as it was ever the case that offshore centres were about promoting tax avoidance, it's certainly not the case as far as the Isle of Man is concerned now, and I think it's very important that we try and rebalance this. The reality is, in the past, understandably, the Isle of Man was very proud of its privacy, and of course all too often privacy and secrecy get confused as concepts, but we're living in a much more transparent world, and I think that the island understands that, but it also, I think, now needs to raise its profile even more to make sure that British politicians are precisely aware of what it has to offer.
And how do you suggest they do that?
Well, I think I would give great credit to the Isle of Man government. They've done a tremendous job in the last 2 or 3 years with Tony Brown, Anne Crane, Alan Bell and others spending a lot of time meeting politicians, not just actually in Westminster, but actually in Brussels as well. So I think they're doing a good job. But for so long as we have this culture of bashing the banks and the bankers, I think it is very important that the Isle of Man continues to make its case for its very distinctive offering within the global financial sphere, as well as I say, making it very clear that the Isle of Man is a place that's open for businesses well beyond the financial services sphere.
Please subscribe to the Isle of Man TV archive channel. Thank you.